Last week we talked about worry and anxiety, and I want to continue on that subject again this week. So this week I want to talk about our problems, and I'm going to ask you, I know we all deal with different worries and different anxieties and different fears, and I'm going to ask you, how big is your problem? As I walk along the edge of the field here, it's a beautiful, crisp winter day. And the sun's shining pretty bright today. You know an interesting thing about the sun? About a few facts about the sun. Well, sun's about 93 million miles away from Earth. It's about 109 times wider than Earth. And did you know that if the sun was hollow, you could put about 960,000 Earths inside the sun? In fact, the sun counts for about 99.86% of the mass of our solar system. When you think about it, it looks so small in the sky, yet it's so huge. But I'm standing here holding a quarter. You know, when you think about how big the sun is compared to the solar system or the earth, then you think about how big a quarter is compared to the earth. There's really no comparison between the size of a quarter and the size of the sun. But interesting enough, if I take this quarter and I hold it up just right and pull it close to my eye, I can not only cover the sun, but I can cover the entire sky. Sometimes it's not the size of what you're dealing with. It's how you look at it is what makes it so big. Sometimes we can really focus on our problems so much that we forget how big God really is. We can actually hide him behind our problems. But you know, just like I can cover the sun with a quarter, if I just move it to the side a little bit, then it reminds me just how big the sun really is. And sometimes you can take a problem and focus so much on it that you can hide God behind the problem. When what we really need to be doing is focusing on God and seeing just how small our problems are. In Psalms 147, it says, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He determines the numbers of the stars and calls them each by name. Great is our Lord and mighty in power. His understanding has no limit." You know, we may feel lost sometimes in our problems, but God still understands us. He knows our hearts. He knows our thoughts. And when we go back to him, he binds up our wounds. He heals our broken hearts. He's there for us. He's the God who created the universe, who calls the stars out by name. Surely he understands us and he cares for us. When we focus on God, and more especially when we focus on Jesus Christ, we get a certain peace, a peace that passeth all understanding. You know, before Jesus left, he talked with the disciples, and even then they didn't really understand what was going to happen when he was going to be taken from them and the fact that they were going to be scattered. But he left them with some words, and those same words can comfort us today. And it comes in the book of John, chapter 16, verse 33. He says, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." We have to understand the peace that Jesus Christ has for us. This is the world we live in. We're going to face trials. We're going to face tribulations. We're going to face troubles. But we can be of good cheer and good heart because Christ has already overcome this world. So we get that peace through him, that no matter what we're facing, he's there with us to help us through it and to carry us through those problems. So sometimes it's not so much the size of the problem, it's how you put it in perspective. And I guarantee you, just like if you'll move that quarter to the side, you'll realize the sun is so much bigger. And if you'll shift your eyes from that problem to God, you'll realize he's so much bigger.